Hey, it's Anthony, your local real estate agent here in Calgary, and today we have a very special video. We're going to be interviewing a good friend and mortgage agent of mine that I've had the pleasure of working with for the past several years. Today we're going to be talking about all things mortgages. This includes interest rates, pre-approvals, and so much more. So without further ado, welcome to the channel, Desiree. Why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and what got you into mortgages?
Awesome. I'm Desiree O'Doherty. I work with Mortgage Line, which is a local mortgage brokerage company, and we service all of Alberta, but we mainly concentrate in Calgary and surrounding areas, as you know. And I'm very happy to be here today to talk to you all things mortgage.
So the first question we have today is, what are the pros and cons of working with a mortgage broker or mortgage agent versus working with a bank?
Love that question. I like to kind of liken it to where a bank is like a big sea with a lot of tiny fish, and the mortgage broker acts as someone who treats your client as the big fish in a little pond. Right. So you're going to get great customer service, you have access to dozens of lenders, which means more options for financing for, say, your self-employed clients, or maybe someone that doesn't fit the traditional mold of what a bank would be looking for. So the options open up. Often the interest rates are competitive, if not lower than the bank. Right. And just options, flexibility, and just the knowledge and customer service that comes with it.
Perfect, thank you. And the question probably most people are wanting to know, what are rates doing right now?
Well, we've been spoiled during COVID. The pandemic has seen some really all-time historic low rates. And so most of your first-time home buyers, if they were purchasing in 2020, even 2021, they were spoiled with a rate that was most likely lower than 4%.
Right.
Now, the Bank of Canada has increased prime rate, which affects your variable rate mortgages, which is kind of the buzz in the market right now. And that's increased, I believe it's 6 or even 7 times this year. Right. And they only meet 8 times a year to even make those changes. So that's pretty significant. It's unprecedented. We haven't seen it in our lifetime. However, that being said, overall mortgage rates right now are sort of in the mid to high 5s. Right. Approaching 6, and that's still that's normal. That's historically speaking, a really good interest rate. 30 years ago or back in the 70s and 80s, you would see upwards of 13%, 15%.
Yes.
That is truly outrageous. Yeah. So we're not in too bad of shape, and historically speaking, if you go with a variable rate mortgage, you're going to save the most on overall interest costs. Right. So if you're someone who can go to bed at night knowing that your payment potentially could rise, but also knowing that in the future, when things stabilize with inflation and all of these factors that are affecting the interest rate market, that it'll go back down, then maybe that's a good option for you. But if you're someone who doesn't like to gamble and it will keep you up at night, and you like to budget, then maybe the fixed rate is more your lane that you want to be in. And the fixed rate does come with options, 2, 3, 4, 5 year terms. So you don't have to lock yourself in for 5 years if you don't want to.
Right. Okay, next question. This is for all our first-time home buyers out there. What is the importance of having that pre-approval in place?
Pre-approval is peace of mind.
Right.
So it's knowing exactly what you are pre-approved for based off of the documents you submit to your mortgage broker. They take a look at everything, and then even ultimately will secure a rate hold for you. So it doesn't mean that you're all the way through the red tape with the bank or the lender. They haven't seen your documents, but having them checked by a professional who understands what the lender is looking for will give you that peace of mind to shop up to your maximum purchase price, and it makes it a lot more fun because you know exactly what you can afford.
Yeah, absolutely. And selfishly, it makes my job a little easier, knowing what a buyer can afford, and it helps me do my job correctly. And
it saves everyone time too, including the client. And nobody wants to run around $50,000 over the purchase price just to come to find that they can't afford it.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So next question is, where do you start in the real estate process? Should you talk to a real estate agent, your bank, your mortgage agent? How does this process work? And where do you go from there? So maybe you want to touch on that a little bit?
Absolutely. My best advice for anybody who's in the market is to get the pre-approval in place first. Right. That's going to determine your baseline, your maximum purchase price. It's super exciting to go on Realtor.ca and look at listings, and maybe you want to reach out to Anthony and get things going. But if you don't have that pre-approval in place, you really don't know what you're working with. So my suggestion is to work with the mortgage broker first. have the mortgage broker give you realtor referrals, and then get them hooked up with the right agent for them. And that way they can go shopping confidently. And once they find that, that home, that one they really like, and they want to put in a live offer,
Right.
then they can do so confidently because we already know their maximum purchase price. We've already collected all the documents, the hard work is done, so then it comes back to the mortgage broker to submit to a lender for a firm approval. It's still conditional, there'll still be some things they might need to get, but at the end of the day, you want to go mortgage broker, realtor, back to the mortgage broker, let the realtor handle, the property inspection, any other conditions of that sort. Let the mortgage broker handle condition of financing, make sure everything lines up on time as per your conditions in your contract. And then afterwards, we're gonna set you up with a lawyer, property insurance, and make sure we have a full holistic approach and give you the team you need to get all the T's crossed and I's dotted so that it takes the stress off of you as a client.
Yep, absolutely, and I would agree with everything you just said there, especially in terms of the process and where you start. When buyers do come to me, I end up sending them to a mortgage agent right away just to make sure we can get that pre-approval in place. And like you mentioned there, having that holistic team approach, making sure everyone's kind of in the same circle, helping you out and making sure the process goes as smooth as possible for you.
Yep, at the end of the day, we want less stress and more fun.
Exactly. We take on the stress for you.
Exactly. It's the biggest asset that you'll ever purchase in most cases, and we want to make sure it goes smoothly.
Yes, 100%. Okay, I think that was it, right?
That was pretty easy.
Yeah, not bad. Well, let's have a look and see what it looks like.
Okay. Awesome. So which one do we look at?
That's a good question. So I'll probably cut it a little bit so I can. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Okay.